experience a lot of road rage. It's sort of something I've come to terms with. I'm not entirely sure why it happens. I'd like to think of myself as somebody who is a decent driver. I follow the rules. I overpay the meters. I've only had one ticket. I did have one crash a few years back. It was my mother's car, the Prius. It was sort of bad. There was not only a child, but a pregnant woman in the car. I'm getting over that. But overall, I'm a good driver. I don't, do anything rash. I focus. I'm not emailing people, reading. My father actually has been known to read while driving. And, he's going to probably watch this eventually and have some rebuttals to this because he doesn't do it anymore, I don't think. He used to be more, God knows what the man would do, but he would read at stoplights. He also was known to practice the flute at stoplights. Yes, my father at one point did play the flute. It was short-lived. It lasted about a month, I want to say. It was at a time when we were all taking lessons, like clarinet, that's my brother, violin. My dad would be in and out of Brass Bell, that music store. Makes me laugh to think about it. I forget about Brass Bell. Brass Bell is where we got all of our music and our, rentals. And he picked up the flute. God bless him. But anyway, that's beside it. He would practice the flute. Oh my God, that visual is too much. Anyway, I'm not a texter while driving. I'm not even that good of a texter in general, but that's beside the point. I'm safe. But for some reason, I experienced some of the worst road rage I have ever heard of. When I was at Miami, I was driving home from my beyond interesting internship at Channel 9 News. And I turned onto a main street of Miami. I'm pretty sure I looked both ways. But when I got to the next, intersection, this man in this really jankety car pulls up next to me and motions for me to roll down my window, which I do for some odd reason. If people are motioning to me, making I obey. I mean, whenever I'm in a situation where someone's trying to get my attention, I usually give it to them, whether that's good or bad. I roll down my window, and there is the most frightening person I've ever seen seated behind the wheel. He has the biggest eyes, the most garish features, a mustache, a beard, teeth that needed some work. And he says to me, "You are an idiot. You are an idiot." Like with these eyes that just bulge from his, it was literally so frightening. From there, he was like, "You damn near killed me. You idiot. You freaking idiot." He probably said fucking, but I didn't, well, no, I just said it, so whatever. And I don't know what happened. Still don't know. But apparently I was the idiot, and he was needing some sort of counseling. So that's one example. I think the worst example I encountered was after a long shift at Starbucks. So it was a bad shift to begin with. I had had a man that day actually throw a thermos of half and half at me because our coffee had run out. Every hour we're supposed to change over the coffee, make fresh coffee. The bold had just been dumped, the bold coffee. And this man decided it would be a good idea to throw a heavy thermos of half and half at the very person who was going to make his fresh cup of coffee. Me. Luckily, it hit my shin, so I only had a bruise. A lot of half and half was over me, though, all over my apron. So after this shift, I also had some minor road rage in the lot, which is a pretty much day-to-day thing for me. A man was pissed that I was trying to pull out, and he was trying to leave too. It's like, God forbid that we both are leaving at the same time. And he, did a couple of those, at me. I don't like to use the F word, but, he did those at me, and like, oh my God. Even though I was waiting waiting for this gentleman to pull out before me. It's fine. No, but this actually, the worst occurrence was when I was on my way home, beyond the parking lot, beyond the terrible half and half experience, beyond the man that was angry in the lot. It was on, believe it or not, Santa Monica Boulevard. If any of you know where Fox Point, Wisconsin is, first of all, God love you. Second of all, I would like to think it's road rage free. It's a peaceful, quiet boulevard that is a 25-mile-an-hour zone. So people aren't, cruising. If they are, they're probably arrested because there's probably cops parked in the cul-de-sacs watching. But literally, I was driving home on the boulevard, almost turned into my family's driveway, and a person walking a dog turned to watch me pass him. I didn't really know why at the time. I learned quickly. He appeared to be shouting something at me. I don't know what, because at this point, my window was not rolled down. I was like, screw life, screw baristaing, screw people that need coffee more than sanity. Just, having a bad moment. This man was shouting. I ignored it. Before I know it, I hear a thump on my back windshield. This gentleman decided to throw his dog's poop at me. To this day, I don't know why the poop was thrown. I've never had somebody throw poop at me. I never intend to have it happen again. The cherry on top of it was coming home and having to remove the bag of poop from my car. Who are people today? What are people? Like, seriously? Would it ever occur to me to throw a poop bag at somebody? No. Why? Why? Literally, why? It was bizarre. Funny story beyond that, this man actually lives down the street from my family. His dog and him walk the boulevard every day. So I knew who he was. I knew that he was the poop thrower. I almost wanted to say to him, "Not gonna throw today, sir? What did I do today?" God, people are messed up. I experience a lot of road rage, and I'm yet to figure out why. I hope that someday it subsides, because if it gets worse than poop, I don't know what I'm going to do.